Assalamualaikum and good day to all the viewers. We are CIA group from ethical class, and we are going to discuss about case number 4 regarding data harvesting. Okay, generally definition of data harvesting is a process which uses a code or script, also known as a bot, to crawl a website and collect data from the website for another purpose. Actually, usually the data, example like Facebook, Facebook is social media. We're going to connect with our friend, but the other parties collect our data to use it for other purpose such as analysis or something benefit to them. Okay, that's what we call data harvesting. Advantage of data harvesting. Okay, data harvesting usually been done by big company because been done by political people for their political mileage, because they want to do an analysis about the votes from the people. Okay, the advantage from data harvesting. Firstly, it is fast and accurate because the data is being input by the owner of the data itself. Okay, another one, data harvesting can significantly decrease the project time frame by automating the data extraction. Okay, so everything done digitally and everything done by the bot, so the data already been collected and been analyzed and come out with the report or any analysis. The possibility of data loss is close to 0%. And it can scrape thousands of info, product data, and image in a few seconds. But if we do it manually, it will take weeks or months. So this process can be really helpful for big data scraping project. But the issue now is this data harvesting morally issue, is it ethical or unethical? To discuss about ethics point of view, I would like to invite our panel, Mr. SHAZLI from Thompson Hospital, to elaborate more about this ethic issue. Please, Mr. SHAZLI.
Thank you, Mr. FADZLY, for inviting me for this topic. In my opinion, I would say data harvesting is unethical. Why I say like that? It's simply because the data that have been gathered have been misused by certain companies without the data owner's consent. I would like to refer to two ethical theories, namely deontology theories and contractarianism theory. Let us look into deontology theory. It's a non-consequentialist theory, which means that right or wrong is determined by decision makers' motivation and not the outcome. Contractarianism theory, when there is no moral per se, but it emerges as a necessity whenever free, rational, and self-interested entities come together. I do believe, in terms of data, regardless of the potential rejection to use a survey, transparency is the most important. Companies should be as transparent as possible with the data that they collect and what they use it for. This means full disclosure on what data is collected and how to use on a user who has so much interested with a website. Nowadays, a lot of companies misuse their data, which they sell to other companies for other reasons, such as political reasons. We can understand why this data is useful, but it shouldn't be to manipulate us into voting for certain people. This scenario can be linked to context of contractarianism, which says that the agreement between the user and the website was to provide a questionnaire for personality assessment. By underhandedly using this information for some other purpose, the enterprise failed in keeping its end of the bargain. Thus, it is immoral. Therefore, I would like to stand that for whatever reason, data harvesting is still unethical from my point of view. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. SHAZLI. Okay, next, we would like to bring you to a scandal involving the data harvesting issue that has been done by a company called Cambridge Analytica. The issue here about the data harvesting, about the mainly about policy and privacy. So to talk more about it, I would like to invite Mr. Hazree from PNB Investment to discuss more about data policy and privacy related to the Cambridge Analytica scandal.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. And yes, we will discuss more about the Cambridge Analytica privacy policy. Actually, we know that Cambridge Analytica, or we can short it as CA, is a company that gathers data analysis for the consumer and for the political using. And I believe also CA is a committed company to protecting user policy. That's the first. And the privacy of policy in the website also do explain how they collect, they use, and to protect the data information of the user that use the site. CA also will not use or misuse or share user information without anyone except as described in the privacy policy. Okay, and then we move to by using the sites voluntarily submitting information directly indirectly, user also will agree that privacy policy and terms and conditions may apply. CA may amend the privacy policy without notice, and user will continue or use the sites in participation to research activities, will confirm the agreement in the new terms. We'll know that CA will collect two types of data information. First, we'll collect the personal information, and then the second one is aggregated data and log file. Okay. However, CA also will collect the personal information of user, submitting it voluntarily, which may include: first, they will collect names; second, email address, postal address, phone and mobile number, geographical location, and demographic information. Okay, for aggregated data and log files, that may include, among the information, IP addresses and domains, web traffic, types of information, and device employed to the access site with an interaction with the advertisement. Actually, for currently, Facebook and other social media are heavily using the advertisement, so that's why Cambridge Analytica will collect information throughout the cookies actually. Because why? The cookies is the small data that's stored in the computer or the hard drive that help CA to provide user with personalized content which their requests. This will help the web developer to customize what is the most suitable search for the user. And cookies obviously is not harmless, that file that can access and affect the damage for the computer. Although for Cambridge Analytica may also use own third-party cookies to automated user-facing process on the site. Okay, what kind of user information that Cambridge Analytica will collect? So the information that we'll do is, first is to provide and to maintain or improve or customize the feature or functionality of the site, and to gain the insight to the behavior for the target audience, to contact user directly or indirectly for marketing purpose or research, and to contact with the user with updates, message, notice, including any notice required by law. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hazree. Next, we are going to discuss about what they call data extrapolate. Okay, how people or company use data harvesting and convert the data to something else. Okay, to learn more about this data extrapolate, I would like to invite Mr. ASHRAF. From where, Mr. ASHRAF?
From Rotunda.
Yeah, from Rotunda company, to discuss more about this data extrapolate. And please, Mr. ASHRAF, pass the I pass it to you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. FADZLY. It's a great opportunity for me to be here. So I will discuss on the issue for Cambridge Analytica pertaining the ethical issue, whether is it immoral or moral for the company to extrapolate on the classification to individuals who did not take the survey. So my analysis will be based on 4 classical ethical theories. The first one is the utilitarianism ethical theory. So this theory discusses whether an action is moral or not based on whether it benefits the greater of the people. So in this Cambridge Analytica case, it is apparent that the company is using the data, and if the company had not used the data to extrapolate the data, it would have resulted in a loss to the enterprise by lowering the quantity and the quality of the data. And also not extrapolating the data would have led to no gains or loss to the people. So in this theory, it seems like extrapolation is an ethical action. However, in the deontological ethical theory, it states that the company has the rights of duty to serve the clients. So this ethical theory states that in this case, the company had some data, but it is without the disposal of the people, and the company themselves uses the data to extrapolate for the people who had not participated in the questionnaire. So any organization is stepping outside its bound when it tries to profile an individual without expressing their permission, and the company did just that. Thus, I feel that this is an unethical action. Another theory, the virtue ethics, discusses on how the company used the data to estimate the tendencies of some other people, and those other people were not made aware of this. So this action is somewhere in the middle of absolute honesty and absolute dishonesty. And such extrapolation of data may have helped the company provide better services for the client, which may have assisted in improving the world even in a small way. Thus, it seems like this extrapolation method is ethical. Conversely, in the contractionism ethical theory, the company used some data to estimate the tendencies of some people. So those other people were not made aware of this and did not make any contract or agreement with the company. And it seems like there is a breach of contract on it. Okay, the company failed to provide such agreement with the clients. Thus, it seems like this is a not ethical action. Okay, so in conclusion, the ethic theories were divided on whether the extrapolation of unsuspecting registered voters was ethical or not.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ashraf. Okay, as right now, our discussion is a bit biased, I think. Okay, all our panelists kind of agree that data harvesting is a bit unethical, maybe all unethical, but can it be done ethically, this data harvesting? Okay, how it can be done and in a moral way, and thus it's easy to make it an ethical issue. This issue make it an ethical. So I would like to invite Mr. Safwan to discuss more about it. Please, Mr. Safwan.
Okay, thank you, Mr. FADZLY, for the short brief. Yes, I agree that a lot of people say that this data harvesting is morally unethical, but I would like to defend that this data harvesting can be done ethically through many ways. For example, I want to give you an example of people that use this data harvested in ethical way. Back then, 2012, where the election of United States President, where Barack Obama won the election, actually the data is gathered for political and the informant is has granted the permission to use the data. So Barack Obama was very explicit about what they were doing. What he did was he went directly to his campaign supporters and asked for permission to get the informations. In this case, it does not go to controversial of what data harvesting means. It is not weird. How remarkable takeaway from coverage of the 2016 election, where it changed the direction of the public and the media of the political use of data-driven election. So actually, people harvest data through many ways, such as through interviews and also through social media. So what we can done, if we want to make it ethical way, is that we have to be transparent in terms of giving them what is our main objective of doing that data harvesting, and also what is the reason of we want to use the data, where we want to use, how we want to use. We have to tell them first. So there's an act which is called as a PDPA Act, which is a Personal Data Protection Act 2010, where if you break the act, then you can be penalized. So every time people do data harvesting, they have to mention the objective, they have to mention the terms and condition, and they have to be transparent. In doing that way, the data harvesting can be ethical and can be used for whatever reason they want for. Alright, so I think that is from me, and people would say that data is unethical, but I think data can be ethically harvested. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Safwan, as our last panelist. Okay, that's conclude all today. As a conclusion for our discussion today, data harvesting is an normal thing in this digital world right now. Okay, every day we evolve with new technology. So is it ethical or unethical? It depends on the person, the people, the parties, the company, everyone, anyone that going to do the data harvesting. Is it going to be done ethically, like Mr. Safwan said just now, or unethically, just like what happened to Cambridge Analytica? So the main point here is the parties that going to do the data harvesting. Okay, so as final word from us, me, FADZLY, and my teammate SHAZLI, Hazree, ASHRAF, and Safwan, we would like to thank Professor Dr. Puan as our subject lecturer, and all of the viewers and our colleague in MBA part-time UKM second sem. Until we meet again, Assalamualaikum and goodbye.